I made my ganache last night and let it sit. And so now it's a little hard. So I'm gonna put it in the microwave to loosen it up a little bit. I know we have ganache on the Yummy Arts, how to make it, right?
We do.
So go to your
Yes.
Yummy Arts and you can get the recipe for ganache.
Yep.
I prefer to use ganache under my fondant.
Yeah, you're a ganache decorator.
I prefer to use ganache under my fondant because I think buttercream is mushy under my fondant.
Yeah.
And ganache hardens under your fondant, which is really better for when you're trying to put fondant on. All right, let's see
Fondant on it.
Let's see how that looks.
There it is. There's ganache.
Yeah, not quite. Nope, a little bit more. You want it to be about the consistency of peanut butter is what I like to say.
Ooh.
So it's still a little set in the center.
So you just nuke it.
So you just nuke it. I nuke it.
There
I
you
did
go.
it for 20 seconds the first time.
We're
And I'm
nuking
probably
for
going to
more.
do it for another 20.
Okay. How much ganache are we talking about there? That's a half a gallon of ganache?
I don't know how much actual it is, but my recipe is 600 grams of chocolate with 300 grams of heavy cream. And I can usually, with that much, cover an 8-inch and a 10-inch cake. So, but when I do sculpted, I'm sometimes filling in areas with the ganache. So when I do a cake, I'm actually, just putting it nicely around the sides and getting a nice. In sculpted, sometimes you're building stuff up. If you don't like a shape, you can build it up a little bit with your ganache. So better to have too much than too little. Okay, so again, I'm going to cover my board, but I'm going to use saran wrap this time because the foil was bugging me. All right. All right, so see, my ganache is about the consistency of peanut butter. This is perfect. It's just how I want it. So I'm just going to start loading it on.
Yummy.
Yep. And again, I've got it on the turntable because I want the movement. I want to be able to turn it as I'm doing it smoothly and not have to, jerk it around as I'm trying to ganache. All right. So out of, you can ask this question and see who responds.
Yes.
How many of you use buttercream under your fondant and how many of you use ganache? I'd be curious.
There's the challenge, gang. You've heard it. She's thrown down the
Just the
gauntlet.
question. No, I just want to know.
All right.
I'm
Question?
curious because I started with buttercream and just could never get as smooth as I wanted it. And I was watching a video, a YouTube video one day from Planet Cake, I think they're called, a place in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that when they were covering the fondant, I was online going, God, how can I get my fondant smoother? And so they had a video on how to cover your cakes, and they didn't mention that it was ganache, but when I was watching the video, it was chocolate underneath the fondant. And I was like, what are they using, chocolate buttercream?
Yeah.
And I did a little research and saw that they use ganache. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna try that. And I have never gone back. And if I have a cake like a lemon cake, I know some people like lemon and chocolate. I think it's gross, but dark chocolate. But if I have a lemon cake, and so I don't want to do dark chocolate, I'll do a white chocolate ganache.